Get ready to be inspired by the great things happening in rural education. The Rural Scoop will bring you new ideas and innovative solutions. We'll dive into education issues and we'll highlight what's working in your rural communities. You'll hear from a variety of educators, administrators, professionals, and others who will provide relevant and engaging content in each episode. And now, for a special episode recorded at the Arizona Rural Schools Association Conference, here's your host, Ty White.
All right. So the first question I'm using to help break the ice and show you that you trust me here, would you please just introduce yourself and tell everyone what you're here for why you're here for the Resilient Rural Conference?
Hi, my name's Karen Gifford, and I'm the Partnership Director for Arizona for Proximity Learning. And I'm here at this conference joining you all because we believe that every child deserves a fully qualified teacher. And rural schools tend to have harder vacancies to fill at times. And we believe it's an equity issue. And we want to bring the teachers that the kids need.
I like that. Is this your first time to the ARSA conference?
It is.
What do you think so far?
Love it. I think it's very intimate and friendly, and people have just been great.
Okay. What do you want to tell, for our audience here, what can you share with our rural schools and our rural leaders?
I think what I'd like to share is our solution to filling those critical vacancies. In Arizona, currently, 1 in 4 teachers are absent from the classroom as far as certified, fully qualified staff. And I think in some of our rural areas, those vacancies are even harder to fill. So we're coming with a solution that provides live instruction, enhanced virtual instruction to students who need advanced math or even just, algebra. Sometimes that's hard to find.
Can you tell me what that looks like?
Sure. Yeah. Well, of course, if you're relying on a teacher to be entirely virtual and the students to be in the classroom, we also need to have an on-the-ground facilitator. And that's typically a district personnel, and it's typically a classified staff, maybe an instructional assistant. And that person is trained to facilitate that classroom, to be that virtual teacher's arms and legs. Okay. So, to do the behavior management, to help the kids get set up with their computers, anything that they need. And then they become a partner to that teacher. And they really act as a teaching team.
What does the expression the rural advantage mean to you?
For me, as I told you I was a city girl, but I have been living in Arizona for quite some time, pretty much my whole adult life. Okay. And I have really come to see, and I've worked with rural communities in different positions previously, and I've really come to see our rural educators as really survivors and just so strong. I mean, because they're doing it all. They're doing a lot more multitasking than even a typical educator is, in my view, and from what I've seen.
I really appreciate that. A lot of the reason we like that question is it kind of helps people view rural without that deficit mindset. So
absolutely. I'm a former special educator. So, I was trained early to look for the strengths and the strength-based approach.
Great. One of my favorite parts about this conference is that ARSA recognizes and celebrates 10 outstanding teachers. All of those teachers have done some special stuff to get here. I know only one gets picked to be the Rural Teacher of the Year. But sort of the self-reflection piece here is, it makes me think about who are the teachers that influence us and help make us the way we are. Do you have a teacher you'd like to shout out or recognize?
Absolutely. Sister Damien. So I was going to Catholic school in the era when nuns had men's names. So she was Sister Damien, but she was a lovely, she's probably in her 20s, and she was my second grade teacher. And she assigned us to go home and make an Easter bonnet because we were in, Catholic school. So that was okay, And my mom worked 3 to 11 as a nurse, and we had the babysitter from across the hall kind of thing. I didn't know what to do. And so I just got a hole punch in a piece of construction paper and decorated it and put a yarn through, And then I walked into school and all the other girls in the class had a paper plate with bows on top. And I felt horrible. And so I hid mine. Like I was just going to act like I didn't do it. Savage fooled me. And my table mate, John Soder, I will never forget his name. And if you're out there, John, but I'm glad he did it. He told on me basically that I had one. And Sister Damien didn't make a big deal, but she did acknowledge how wonderful it was that I did something so original and creative, and made a big deal out of that. So
very cool. So being part of, proximity learning, I'm sure you've got a network of people around the state. What would you say to someone that needs to be here, but maybe is kind of on the fence about committing their time and their resources?
Oh, wow. I've gotten a lot out of this conference as, a vendor. And I mean, I said I was formerly an educator, but yeah, I just, Carol Bastile's presentation, the gentleman this morning, Andrew, was amazing. And the breakouts that I've looked at, I haven't been able to make one yet, but I think it's a real quality conference. And just the caliber of the vendors that are here is exceptional as well. I've really not been to a regional or state conference recently with, such a strong showing of, really quality people who are helping our educators.
Okay. That sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ty. It was nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for listening to The Rural Scoop. Please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe, or even leave us a comment. And be sure to follow on Twitter at Dr. Sadorf. That's Dr_SADORF, so that you never miss a new release. You can also check out previous episodes of The Scoop wherever you get your podcasts. Production support for The Rural Scoop is provided by Chattanooga Podcast Studios. Find out more at ChattanoogaPodcastStudios.com. See you next time for more great discussions about rural education.